I would like to make a formal apology to everyone that regularly watches anything I put out. I would have made another entry regarding net neutrality, but I had an individual make the request to be spoken of as they derive their jollies off of being anonymous. And I intend to use tomorrow to discuss what I've been talking about. Probably have something else out about just general discourse I've been having with individuals recently, because that's something that just needs to be pushed to the forefront. Um, and I've let down most of the people that regularly check this stuff out. I didn't mean to, but I had this request. I don't get those too often, so they're currently very giddy about this. For what reason, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, World of Psy. I'll have something else up tomorrow. I haven't seen you in a while. I have content in between now and the last time you were, to my knowledge, in the chat room. How are you doing, Legendary Winner? I don't even know how I'm. Hey, my channel just crashed into you. That's how you got subscribed. And thank you for the compliment. This is one of those generic rambling type of vlogs. So if you're not into that and you want high quality scripted materials, just go away. Just leave. Just shoot. World Size says, yeah, sorry, had a lot on my mind. Can you help me with some? Well, I don't know what some is. I'm already helping somebody else with their request. Yeah, Ablaze, I have some bad news for you. This is a rambling vlog because someone requested that they be spoken of without me saying who they were. The other night I deviated. I mean, these are of regularity. I'm not. If you miss a chance to be in one, you'll be able to be in another one. I don't know what "Can I Be Next" is referring to. You make a request, I'll consider it, and then you'll see what happens. Just what do you want? If it's some topic you feel is personal, then send me a message. If it's something about the news, I would think you could just say it in the chat room. I don't know if I've heard that song before. Maybe I have, I just don't recognize the name. I've used slang at times. It's something I've thrown out every couple of. Yeah, I think I've heard the song. I just don't know what it by its name. Yeah, I don't use that World of Side. It's funnier when someone types it than when they speak it. Because oftentimes in the course of trying to have discussions with some individuals that had excellent vernacular on their part, they oftentimes will deviate to or otherwise seek to say that or infer you're not as intelligent as they are because you don't speak the same way. And even though I don't necessarily think that intelligence is tied down to talking or your various words or phrases, there is a more vested belief off the bat of hearing you speak that someone might think you're smart. So for example, if a person that is, I don't know, liberal hears Ben Shapiro speak and he's talking with great eloquence, even if they think his political views are idiotic, they know he's not an idiot. If that gets to the meat of what I was trying to convey. Do you at least text in slang? You're talking to someone that I'm more likely to speak in slang by accident than I am to write it, because I try to read over what I send to people, um, or just what I put out for someone else to read, because most things I write are for another person to see. And I just think if I put it in a way that is um, clarifying, then it will be able to just go off from there. I don't know, Envoy. I have my internet, my freedom of speech online is getting yanked in what, 13 days, and uh, an accused child molester is going to be elected senator from Alabama in 11 days. We're discussing anything, and it's almost with the exception of the title, an unofficial press conference. I don't know what else you would refer to this. I had a user request that they be spoken of anonymously, and she claims to take great delight in that. So I'm just going off of their wishes, because I don't often get these requests. Yeah, I'm referring to Moore, the Alabama Republican nominee in the special election. I thought you heard of that. No, because it's been nationally covered for a couple of weeks now, ever since these allegations came out. Song lyrics to more genres is better. Yeah, I wasn't. I don't think you've ever told me what country you were from, so it's probably a large part of it. Yeah. The only I just couldn't think of anything else to say about net neutrality that I haven't already stated. Because even if I try to branch it off to something else, I think people get tired of it after a couple of days or a week. But and I have noticed there has been a seeming loss of steam where people just are flushing out. All I can say to that is you can ignore. I don't care if video I make about it, I have made about it gets 1 view or 10 views. If it raises awareness or prompts someone to sign a petition against repealing it, I'll be fine. Essentially, a blaze. It's what prevents service providers such as Comcast and AT&T to be able to mess with websites because they're run or in favor of something or someone that the companies are against. I was making this joke a while back. If AT&T did some partnership thing with McDonald's, and you try to go on BurgerKing.com, and it doesn't load, or it tells you have to pay an extra price, you'll know why. Then you try to go on Carl's Jr., it does the same thing, you'll know why. So it's to that extent or equivalent. Uh, Envoy, do you have an opinion? Uneven playing field, exactly, Ablaze. Do you have an opinion Prince of England's upcoming marriage to the American actress? Oh, Harry. Not much. It's just celebrities getting married. I don't pay much attention to anyone that's not either a current office holder or some singer or actor that I knew of in my childhood that I liked back then or think is very talented, or even if I do, it's still only because they're putting some kind of material or thing I like outward, like a song or an album or a movie. So I have no interest in what's going on over there, just for appearances. I agree, Ablaze. Um, they're they're not the center of my focus. I'm sure Envoy has been very excited. He said, "Yes, finally the Royals have done something right. They're going to other countries to recruit the various members of the family that are extended or related by marriage." I will say that, this kind of reminds me of. I don't want to turn this into some kind of any update on the child. Oh, the babysitter and the misbehaved 9-year-old found out that the mother is divorced. So I guess that's the single mother thing again. I don't know, Um, I've seen single parents that discipline their child. I thought that was always applicable for um, a male. Yeah, so that's something we found out. And ALU is crashing in, greeting me, and all the while making sure not to capitalize hello to spite me. This is how he gets his sick kicks. See, there it is. He made sure not to put capital LOL. I think he probably had on his computer some kind of update where it just removed the cap locks button. I would not classify myself as one, but if that claim has been pushed of me, it's really up to someone else to decide. I don't consider myself to be one, but if that is the opinion that is set forth, I'll allow it. I can't change the perception of someone else watching this. I was gonna say the marriage thing. Now that Envoy has brought it up, it kind of goes back, and I don't like doing this because they always think you're pitting genders against each other, but I feel it fits into the narrative of. So a while back, I had a discussion with a friend of mine, and he said that males that are famous typically are going to either date someone that is famous or isn't famous. Females, on the other hand, that are famous will exclusively or are way more likely to date males that are famous. And I thought to myself as I sat here and kind of looked back into my brain, I can think of cases in which there are males who have done that. I can't think of any where it was a female. So what I'm saying is that if this were a reverse gender situation where, let's say, I don't know, there's some royalty that's female, a princess or whatever, and she gets some male that she likes who is not famous, I think there's good case to make that she won't accept him or otherwise consider marrying him for the sake of not wanting to bring someone who's not already famous into it. And it's actually, I think there is kind of this status thing that people who have the same just situation will get of each other. So for example, you've had actors date each other. You would think if it's someone who has a similar job and faces the same scrutiny and various pictures being taken of you, they can kind of relate to that experience. But it's this this marriage thing is actually that was something I just thought of from him bringing that up. I have no problem with the two people involved, but I think if the genders were reversed in the circumstance of it not being an actor, or rather some male that was unknown, I don't think it will fly. Okay, Ablaze says I would never want to be famous. The only reason I would want it is to use it for something that is actually noteworthy of bringing a cause to the forefront. You have a lot of these actors that like to go and be part of relief funds and tell their fans to donate, and their fans will be more inclined to do so because they told them to. I'm very much of that idea. Well, even if you didn't ablaze with the appearances and role expectation, what is really the worst you have to lose from it? Even if you tried and weren't able to. So, just that's my view on it. Someone else said something. Okay, Jack Mick 23 says they never thought about that. Wow. Said wow twice. And ALU says nothing, which, if you want to say nothing, why say anything at all? Last year, Jack Mike. We're not even talking about it, whatever. It is what it is. I don't get where that's more curious for whatever. Coast says kind of new. Only been watching. Really on. Yeah, Coast. I have to. Well, I thank you for that compliment. There is kind of a two-piece. Um, what's a good term to use? It's almost a dubious honor at this point because when I was 3 years ago going and actively reading on history, particularly American history, and thinking that, this would be the one thing that set me apart, all the while being turned down by females I went to school with, it never occurred to me that the main thing that would draw in the most people would be, oh, look, this person who, in my view, isn't as bad as someone else might see him as, is being declined and at every turn. So it's this thing where even if I do appreciate you at least paying attention to something I did, it's still something I'd rather not be known. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Jack Mike. Hadn't even heard of it either. So that's all new to me. Thank you for the new education. I appreciate it. Keeping me informed and knowing of what's going on. And before that, you said another. It's a song. Well, if it's a song, why'd you say "Did you watch"? Oh, you're throwing me off. Trying to pull a wool over me. Okay. How do you feel about rock music? I feel about rock music the way I feel about most other various genres. It has its good and its bad. There are certain genres I prefer over others. I can only think of maybe one or two country songs I'm really that into. But there hasn't just been a genre where I just said, oh, it's horrible. I'm actually not sure. Most things either have to do with rock or, there's some rap from the 90s that was alright. Certainly better than what I feel. Now we're gonna get into we're gonna have get into some argument over that, so I'll be quiet. I like stuff from 20 years ago in terms of rap more than the current artists. There are good ones, and there's always that person that comes around with a song or a couple of songs or an album that I think is alright, but I don't actively see what I saw in artists from the past. And I don't think I'm that kind of person where, decades have made this thing a classic, because there's stuff that came out last year that I would classify as being good. Some contemporary artists are very appreciable. That's how you feel, Coast. I'll have to check out Theory of a Dead Man. That reminds me of something else. I'm gonna have something relating to the continued lack of ability to appreciate people during their lifetime, because that is bothering me to a great extent, and I've seen it just on this worldwide level now. That's irritating. This whole Picasso effect. So I'll discuss that tomorrow. I am going to try to find something to say about net neutrality. Trying to keep that topic of discussion up until we get to this final day. But we'll see what happens. So thank you for watching. Have a good day.